Diaspora investment is playing a crucial role in economic development in Africa. What are the benefits and what are the downfall? Tonight, we'll be talking about what is the amount, what is the interest, and what is the investment about diasporan money remitted back to Africa from across the globe. I have my friend here, Jerry Badi. Jerry Badi, welcome to the studio.
Thank you, Joe. Thanks.
Jerry, you and I, we're not strange to this. According to statistics, there are a lot of remittance that we in diaspora remit back home, and it's also strategic because it is meant to benefit the economic development in Africa. Jerry, by the standards, I was reading some statistics before I came to the studio. For instance, in Nigeria, in a month, we also see that running to 1 billion naira that's been remitted back home. But numbers don't even count. And I guess that's the same way it is in Sierra Leone and across Africa. Jerry, what is going on?
Thank you, Joe. That's an interesting and very important topic, right? If you look at most countries in Africa, the way we are set up, gained independence from colonial rule, specifically in the 60s, up to this point, we still live the real primitive way of life in many African countries. Diaspora investment into African countries is very critical towards the development of Africa as a whole. Remittances that go to Liberia from us in the diaspora, it helps to keep the wheel of the economy in Liberia spinning. Because the money that we send back, in terms of amount, you're talking billions millions per year from the United States, from Canada, from Europe, from Australia. Liberians help the people send the money back. The government is short of foreign exchange. The money that we send back helps the government to earn foreign exchange from the central bank. But how can we, as residents of the diaspora that come from these African countries, how can we use the money that we send back, instead of sending it to your brother and sister, father and mother to buy food and eat? How can we invest it in there? One of the things that serves as an impediment, Joe, is that who do you trust on the ground to handle your money that you send there? Let's take, for example, the housing estate. People sit in Monrovia or in Liberia. I say this from experience. And they dupe others who are living abroad that send money back home. They dupe them of their hard-earned money. If you're expecting the guy to build a house for you, he tells you on the phone, yes, if you give me X amount of money, say $15,000, I can raise the house from foundation level all the way up to roof level. I just, for an example. Only to find out later on that if you went to Liberia, you don't even see the piece of land, let alone the foundation. See, so it discourages people, it hurts people. We can invest in our country. We cannot rely solely on the government to be the single most employer in the country and help the country to develop.
Okay, Jerry, you just mentioned something that is very crucial to this discussion, that money sent back home are not properly utilized. Perhaps the points people back home are not making good use of it. Now, is there a way that we can overcome this? Is there a way that you can get trusted hands? And how do you identify trusted hands? And like you have just mentioned, this money is not sent to strangers. It's sent to people that you know. Say, put this thing down for me, put this structure up for me, and you get back home, nothing's on the ground.
I think one of the best ways, Joe, if you go back home, open an account, transfer the money to your account. That is the process of finding someone who is very.
That is also that means you have to let's get this thing clear. If you get a bank account in back home, you have to report it to Canada Revenue. That's money, having an account overseas, because if you have a bank account outside the country, you have to report it to the country, Canada Revenue Agency, for instance, in Canada. Okay, that's very clear. That's what the law says. But let's go on. So if you put back the money back home, so what do you do with that?
When the money is in there, and you know you have a project you want to undertake, and that project you're going to be hiring people. That's another way of private investment into your country. You're going to hire more than 1 or 2 persons, say 5 persons. If you're going to do that, go there, follow your money, go there, find time during your vacation, go there and sit there for at least a month.
Oh, Jerry, you are demanding too much for people who want to invest, because you are actively working here. How can you go take vacation for 3 months and go and stay for your money, to go and monitor your investment back home? How is that possible?
Not 3 months. Say the minimum of 1 month. You can do 1 month at a time.
How can you build a house in 1 month?
No, that's
how
not
can
what
you
I'm
establish
saying.
a project?
You cannot do it up from start to finish in 1 month.
Okay.
You can do it in segments, bits and pieces, right? Get the first amount is deposited there. Go after the money, hire some people, and when you are buying the materials, the builders, the engineers, they identify, they make the blueprint. I mean, this is just on housing. I'm talking about.
Okay.
There are other ways, other areas that you can invest. You can invest in agriculture. You can have a farm. Somebody can run the farm. You go there and start the project. When it is beginning, then you can come back.
Okay, you see, Jerry, I understand where you are coming from. You are patriotic, so to say. You want to head back home. But I've seen instances where people, even if you spend a month to monitor your money, you're going to leave that project and come back here. If you invest in agriculture, for instance, it is planting season from April, and you invest in agriculture, but you're not going to stay with the crops to grow. You're not going to stay with the crops, nurturing on the crops. You have to live there. If you establish a poultry, for instance, you cannot stay a year and monitoring the poultry. You have to leave people there. But what is the mindset of those people you are leaving behind, leave this enterprise for? It is a problem. I give you an instance. One guy left Maryland to Nigeria to go and establish a farm. He was kidnapped by no other person, by a friend, a family friend, who knew that he brought a lot of money to come and invest. Eventually, after collecting much amount of money from the family, the guy was killed because somebody who knew him was among the people who kidnapped him. These are stories that we hear, that people are uninterested now to go and invest. And again, the economic climate is not too good too. Exactly. The government is not encouraging them. Exactly. The government does not provide security, does not provide roads. So it's a multifaceted problem that we have to confront. If you are talking about,
we have to do it.
Yes.
If you have to do it, you have to do it.
Okay.
Some of these cases of kidnapping you're talking about is on the extreme. But I understand that the most expensive commodity in Africa is honesty. It's so expensive that people cannot afford it.
Yes.
Well, somebody is going to dupe you, and that somebody is probably your own family person who's going to dupe you of your money.
Yes.
And if they see that you know that they are stealing from you, they may go and kill you, like what you just explained.
Yes.
However, Joe, you got to take the bull by the horn. Because if we don't do that, you stay here, you get old here, your children that are here put you in nursing home. And
what is wrong with being in a nursing home?
Oh, man, there's so many disadvantages of being in a nursing home. I know an uncle of mine was in Providence, Rhode Island with his son. His son, he was getting ill every time, and he told them, he said, look, my boy, I'm almost at the point of dying.
The aged in Africa, they're not doing better. I must tell you this. They are not doing better. The children abandon the aged. Even as a matter of fact, the elderly ones are not even treated fairly. by their children back in Africa. I can tell you this for sure as a Nigerian, because the elderly are treated with disdain. As a matter of fact, they suspect them. There's so much suspicion among the elderly that it's not a good thing to be old in Nigeria anymore.
But there are family values. Some of us grew up with a mindset
that has gone with the wind because of this. Get it all at all costs.
At all costs. I understand, Joe, but there's nowhere in the world nowadays that
so
everything
Jerry,
is.
Let's make this discussion a result-oriented discussion. What could be done to change the mindset of people when they see us? The money we are sending back home is not a philanthropic gesture.
Mm-hmm.
It is to invest and make profit, and also employ people, to get people engaged. But rather, this money is going down the drains because the people you give this money to are not putting it into good use. How about that?
That's a valid point. A lot of people get victimized by that. You know, your family and friends that are on the ground in Liberia, as they say, we are on the ground. They think that you have a lot of money here. You get up in the morning, you shake the tree, the leaves fall, and you send it back to them.
Yeah.
So that's the mindset they get. So anything you take there, they think you have more of what you're taking, and they want to.
So, like I said, result-oriented. You mentioned something just now. Do we now follow the money home to go and live with the investment? Is that because somebody mentioned that to me too? Because you cannot just come and plant your investment in Nigeria or in Africa and then come back here hoping that somebody who you have.
No.
So, so what do you do?
When you started, say for example, a farm that you just mentioned a while ago.
Yeah.
If the crops are planted, between the planting time to the time the seeds will germinate to the time of harvest, no one can steal anything from there because the crops are not yet ready for harvesting.
So what about the money for maintenance? What about the money for?
That's where the honesty part comes in. That's where you find a trusted person who is going to live on the farm.
But you just said trust has become an scarce commodity.
I know, Joe. It's the most expensive commodity. But you got to reach a certain point where you will say, all right, let me trust this person at some point in time.
I thought there could be an answer, like government encouraging people to set up a consortium of people that we from outside can trust. Like for instance, there should be a consortium of builders who are trusted professionals that you say, okay, come build this facility for me, and then they say this is the cost. You give them the money, you know the architectural drawing is there, you don't have to worry about supervision. They take care of it and you pay them off.
Of course, yes, it happens like that in Liberia too, but some of these
consortiums,
some of them too are not trusted, right?
So
however, you just still have to keep on pushing it until we get
the day my faith in this system was shaking was when I got into my friend's hotel in Nigeria. You know, drinks that you serve in a hotel, it was labeled, numbered. And I asked my friend who owns the hotel, why do you have to number it? He said, because I have to number it because the drinks that are being taken here, my workers will bring their drinks, sell their drinks to my guests or to the hotel staff or to hotel guests. And then mine will be left unsold.
Yeah.
So
those are some of the things about
a system like that, how do you confront it? It's puzzling.
It is, Joe. It is mind-boggling. It is scary. It keeps us being afraid of our own homes who don't want to go there. And so
you see, that's the reason. That's the reason why people, instead of sending money to make for development, they send money for subsistence living. And that's why you don't see anything coming out of our remittance back home.
Yeah, but we have to still do it. We still have to do it because at some point in time, you will get someone who is honest that will do the job for you. Like
okay,
me.
All right. The producer is telling me that we're out of time. Perhaps we make suggestions. My suggestion is this. What's your suggestion? Let's go with you first. What's your suggestion that this thing can work?
It can work we got to keep on looking, keep trying until we get the right person.
Okay, my suggestion now, because I know people will castigate me for this, but I need to speak the truth. If I'm allowed to do that, set up a consortium. Government should encourage professionals to set up a consortium to manage the wealth that is remitted back home. And then government have 4 responsibilities to us in diaspora: power, security, good roads. If we provide that, I think 4, not 4, 3, call security, power, roads. And it's not too much to ask of government to provide these 3, so that some of us who are remitting money back home, the consortium that government has set up, and they will be monitored by government, money sent home by people in diaspora, government have to be interested to see that people managing it are honest. And then these 3 factors, power, roads, and security, that will be also be encouraged to come back home. I think that's how
that's one major way of doing it as well.
Right.
Well, where the diasporic public will invest the money, put it together, and encourage the government to do so. But if the government itself is, on a shaky ground, and another impediment or another thing that we got to look at is, if the governments in Africa, if they're all stable, now get up in the morning and you start hearing national anthem on the radio.
No, I think that's usually we are beginning to overcome that, because apart from Guinea, Niger, and Burkina Faso, we are not. It used to be a constant feature in African politics, yes, except those 3.
So but the climate must be
stable. Yes, but again, for the government to be stable, our leaders have to be people-oriented. Well, Jerry, thank you. We're very happy to see you here again today, and appreciate your input. Well, viewers across the globe, diaspora investment back home is some crucial thing to the development of our countries back home in Africa. And I guess, like we said, government should take interest in helping to monitor diaspora investment back home, so that people who are living here genuinely, when they take money back home, it has to come with a result. Otherwise, it is not encouraged. Jerry, thank you very much. And that's it for now. And thank our viewers for listening. Catch us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I'm yours sincerely, Joe Ezode. Have a good night. Bye.